All right, fourth grade. Today is kind of a fun math lesson. This is one of my favorite things to do. It's the starting point for algebra. So we are going to learn all about solving equations. I don't know if you did this at all in third grade or not. So if you did, let me know. But this is super fun. I know that fifth grade already did it this year, so you probably caught a little bit of it with them. But you need your math book and you need a pencil. Do not open your math book yet, but have it ready to go. Pause, go. All right, so what an equation is it's a group of numbers. It's usually going to have an equal sign right in the middle, okay? It is trying to solve, I'm going to skip this in just a little bit closer so you can see that while I'm working on it. It is solving for what we call a variable or an unknown number. Your unknown number or your variable is most often going to be represented by an alphabet letter such as N or X, N standing for number or X as the unknown. Okay, kind of like X marks the spot. They're not going to use X for a while, so it doesn't confuse you with the multiplication symbol. So for now, we're going to be working with the letter N as our unknown number. Our variable is an unknown number when we solve equations. That's important to know, okay? Another thing you need to know, whenever you solve for equations, you're always going to start solving what you can. You work until you come to a stopping point or a roadblock, okay? Whenever we're solving equations, that's step one, is we solve and we go through, we go until we cannot go anymore. And then after that, we will work it. So let's look at this one. Our equation reads, n plus 5 equals 6 times 3. Now you can't add or subtract or multiply or divide a letter and a number. It doesn't work. It's kind of like adding apples and oranges, okay? You can't do it. So, but we can do, these are both numbers over here. So the first thing you do is you solve what you can until you come to a roadblock. And what you need to do is you need to copy down everything to the next line, okay? So we can't do anything with n plus 5. We don't know what to do yet. So we're just going to rewrite it, rewrite our equal sign. But we can solve this. 6 times 3. What is 6 times 3? 18. Easy, okay? So we're just going to write the answer, okay? So we solved it and we're just going to write it below, okay? You just drop everything down in a nice, neat little section, okay? Now, can we do anything? N plus 5. Can we do anything over here? Not yet. Equals 18. Can we do anything with just the number 18 or the letter 18? Number 18. Number 18. You cannot. So here's the second part of solving equations. You can steal from one side, okay, to put it on the other side, because the goal is always to get this unknown number all by itself. You always want to put the n by itself, always, always, always. And how we're going to do that is we are going to do the opposite, okay, of what it says here. So we have n, and we need to get n by itself. So it's paired up with this plus 5. We need to do the opposite of addition. What is the opposite of addition? Subtraction. So if we have 5 M&Ms, we're going to take them away from this side, like we're subtracting, okay? You do the opposite. So we have to subtract from this side. We have to subtract from this side, right? So then 5, if you start with 5 and you take away 5, how many do you have? 0. So this just comes to be n all by itself. Look, we got it all by itself. That's exactly what I do. But now we need to do 18 minus 5 because we do have to still solve over here. 18 minus 5 would be what? 13. So now I have n equals 13. We can always check this to see if it's correct or not, okay? And how we do that is if n here equals 13, then we're going to substitute and we're going to put it back in up here. So we have n plus 5. So instead of writing n is 13 here. To check it to see if we're right, we're going to do 13 plus 5 equals 6 times 3. Let's solve this to see if we checked it correctly. 13 plus 5 is what? 18 equals, what's 6 times 3? 18. So we want to have the same numbers here. 18 equals 18, correct? That's checked. So 13 is the number for n, okay? I know it's a little confusing. We're going to practice a lot together, okay? I really like these. It's like solving a fun puzzle. So now you can go open up to your book, page number 257, okay? Open up in your book to page number 257, okay? I just did the example up in our yellow box here. Okay, that's the one we just solved on the board together. But we're going to go down to class practice number 1. Okay, letter A, they have the first one worked out completely. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it on the board, and I want you to follow along in your book and see, okay, see how we're doing it so you can look at it. Okay, so don't skip this. Remember, we're solving for what here? What's our unknown? N is our unknown. I'm just going to put this in a cloud so you know what to do, okay? So we cannot do anything yet. N plus 2 needs to stay the same. So we are just going to copy it down like this. Don't forget your equal sign always. Notice how over here my equal sign just goes in a straight little neat line. That's going to help you stay organized. That's one of those organizational tips for math, okay? So let's look at the other side of the equal sign. We always talk about the left side of the equal sign and the right side, okay? They're kind of opposites, but they still need to work together. It's kind of like they're doing a group project, but they have to do their own thing before they come together to do the whole thing, okay? So 12 divided by 3. Can we do that? Yes, we can. What's 12 divided by 3? 4. Okay, so we have n plus 2 equals 4. Now, they wrote it a little differently than I did, and that's fine. They did the same thing. They just did n plus 2 for the next step minus 2. So remember how I just dropped this here? You can do it either way. Either way is correct. This one's a little faster, but if your brain works like that, just kind of play around with it and see. So they did n plus 2. They had to do the opposite of this plus 2 to get n all by itself, because remember, we need to get n all by itself. Okay, so then they did 4, and what you do to the left side, you have to do to the right side. What you do to the right side of the equal sign, you have to do to the left. You always do them together. So since we subtracted 2 on this side, we have to subtract 2 on this side. Okay, so if we start with 2, we take away 2, we're at what? 0. So n is all by itself now. And then 4 minus 2 is what? 2. N equals 2. Let's check it by putting it back in up here. Okay, because remember n, this is our unknown. So if n equals 2, we should be able to put 2 instead of n, and it should be perfect. So let's do 2, because remember, we're substituting n here equals 2, so we're going to put 2 up here. 2 plus 2 equals 12 divided by 3. So 2 plus 2 is what? 4. 12 divided by 3 is 4. We are good to go. Our answer is correct. Okay, so I just did number 1. I just walked you through it so you could see the steps. Now let's go to letter B, 1B. They have some of it filled out, and they have some that you need to do. So our original equation is n minus 3 equals 8 times 2. The next step, and you need to have your pencil ready to go, n minus 3, they couldn't do anything, equals, so we have to solve for this side, okay? We have to solve before we can borrow anything. 8 times 2 is what? 16, okay? So then what they did is they worked down. They're going to take away, okay? So n minus 3, they need to do the opposite of subtraction, which is addition. So if we're missing 3 and we add 3, we're back to the original. So it's 0, okay? You do the opposite to cancel it out. So then we have to carry our 16 down here. 16 plus 3 is what? 19, okay? So n equals 19. They have 19 minus 3, they just put the 19 in here for this n. 19 minus 3 is 16. And then 8 times 2 is 16. Is that correct? Yes, so there's our answer. I want you to pause this video and do letter C all by yourself, okay? Finish letter C and then press play and we'll keep going. Pause, go. All right, letter C. What answer did you get for n? It should be 5, okay? N should equal 5 because if you solve for the right side of the equation, 7 plus 2, it should equal 9. You have to subtract 4 from both sides to cancel them out and to get the n all by itself. So plus 4 minus 4, and then 9 minus 4 is what? 5, okay? If you did not get that, let me know, and I'll do a little video just for you so you can kind of see that there. All right, let's do some homework together now, okay? I know this is kind of going to be a long video, but I want to do these with you. So you need to have your pencil, do them step by step with me. You got it? Okay. All right, and from now on, we're actually going to do it my way, okay? Because I think that this cancels it out and it makes it a little less confusing. Okay, but if this really doesn't work for you, you can go ahead and do it that way. So we have, for number 2a, we have n plus 6 equals 4 times 4. I'm on 2a. Don't forget 2a. Okay, n plus 6, this side still has our unknown. We can't solve it yet. We have to solve this first, 4 times 4, okay, like numbers. So we're going to do what? We are going to recopy this side of the equation down, and then we're going to solve this side. 4 times 4 is what? 16. Okay. Now, we need to get n all by itself. So what we're going to do is the opposite of this action. So plus 6, the opposite would be minus 6. So we're subtracting 6 from both sides, because what you do to one side, you have to do to the other. And I also like to draw a line like that, because then it just works better up and down. So we're going to copy our n back down here. N equals, because 6 minus 6 is 0, so n's all by itself. And then we have to do this side. 16 minus 6 is what? 10. Let's solve it. Put the 10 in place of the n because n equals 10. So up here, this should be 10 also if they're equal to each other. So we have, my check line is all messed up. We have 10 plus 6. Okay, I copied this here. Inserting the 10 where the n should be equals 4 times 4. And 10 plus 6 is what? 16. 4 times 4 is what? 16. So we are all good. N equals 10 is our answer, okay? If you need to pause this to copy that stuff down, that's fine. Let's go on to B. Our next one is n plus 2 equals 7 plus 11. So we can't solve this side yet because the n is still there, but we can do 7 plus 11. So we're going to recopy our left side down and wait patiently over there. 7 plus 11 is what? 18. Okay. Now we need to get n all by itself. So what are we going to do? The opposite of what's teamed here with n. So we're going to subtract, because the opposite of addition is subtraction. Subtract what we do to one side, we have to do to the other side. Okay? So then we have n equals, n is all by itself now because these cancel each other out, right? 18 minus 2 is 16. Let's check our work and see if it is correct. Okay, again, if n equals 16, this means they have the same value, so we should be able to move them from one to the other. So 16 plus 2 equals 7 plus 11. 16 plus 2 is what? 18. 7 plus 11 is 18. Check, we are good. N equals 16. Okay, moving over here. Letter C. N minus 8 equals 21 minus 4. Okay, do you remember what we're going to do first? We need to solve for the side that we can solve. So we can't do the n yet. N is still an unknown number. So we're going to copy it down to that point. 21 minus 4 is what? I have to think through this. 17. It's 17. So right now we have n minus 8 equals 17. Excuse me. We have to do the opposite. To get n all by itself, we have to do the opposite of what it's working with. So we have a negative, or not negative. We have minus 18. The opposite of subtraction is what? Addition. So we're going to add 8 to cancel it out. What you do to one side, you have to do to both sides. This cancels each other out. So n is all by itself. What is 17 plus 18? That is going to be 25. Okay? 17 plus 18 is 25. So let's check to see if n really does equal 25. We're gonna substitute the 25 here, the n for the 25. So we have 25 minus 8 equals 21 minus 4. Okay, go ahead and copy that down. Let's solve it and see. Oh, you can't see that part, can you? How's that? Better? Right there. Okay. So that's hard to see for you. Let me bring this a little closer so you can see it. Let's see if I can do this like this. Okay, sorry if you're getting seasick. Okay, 25 minus 8 is 17. 21 minus 4 is 17, and they both are the same, they equal to each other. So our answer for this equation, our unknown number, is 25. N equals 25. There you go. If this is really confusing and you're struggling with this, let me know. We are going to keep practicing. I'm going to put some things up on Edmodo because I want to see what you guys come to. And I'm going to have you take pictures of some of this work because this is a hard one for me to see your work. So every once in a while you are going to upload pictures of these equations, but only when I tell you to, okay? So keep practicing. These are really fun once you get the hang of it. I'm super excited that you know how to do this now, okay? Go ahead and do the rest of the homework that I have listed for today. See you later.